Stay tuned for the Splash Live. It's time for the Splash Live from Civic Center TV, featuring stories from and about people like you in the Greater West Bloomfield area. Simulcast on cable, 89.3 Lakes FM, social media, and the web. Now live from Green Media Center on Walnut Lake Road, it's the Splash Live.
Live, local, social. It's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV. I'm your host, Jake Sheff, going over all of the biggest news and events from right here in Greater West Bloomfield. After starting the season off 5-0, the West Bloomfield Lakers are looking to bounce back tomorrow after suffering their second consecutive loss of the season to the Clarkston Wolves, officially granting them the OAA Red Division title. With just 2 games to go in the regular season, the Lakers are looking to get back into a groove if they want to make a statement in the playoffs. Tyler Kieft from our team swung by West Bloomfield High School to speak with head coach Zach Hilbers on what's to come and what they're preparing for before taking on Bloomfield Hills.
I'm Tyler Kieft alongside West Bloomfield head coach Zach Hilbers. The Lakers 5-2 coming into week number 8. They go back out on the road for an OAA Red, OAA Blue crossover with the Blackhawks of Bloomfield Hills. Now, you're 5-2, they're 2-5, but this is a team that came into the season with, from the pundits' point of view, from the community's point of view, pretty low expectations, a big change, a coaching change. They've had some rough years, just 2 wins in the last 2 seasons. They're starting to make a move in the right direction. 2 wins this season. Those wins have been pretty impressive, and even in some of their lopsided losses, this is a team with a lot of promise. What should we be looking at with Bloomfield Hills?
You know, they kind of had a similar game the last couple of weeks than what we had, where it was probably closer than the score dictates. They were kind of fighting like deep into the second half there, and it kind of got away from them. So, you know, I know they can probably relate to that and know that they can, you know, if they do the right things and don't make mistakes, they can compete with people. So I know there's going to be a lot of emotion between, like, you know, the communities just being down the road and whatnot. It's, you know, our job to show up, you know, focused, ready to go.
It should be a pretty big night over there. Senior night at Bloomfield Hills. It's a rivalry game between these 2 communities that's sort of starting to rebuild itself with some changes in recent years in the Bloomfield Hills School District. But they got a good foundation in that football program dating back to the end over in Losser days. Dan Loria helping to build that program as he came over from Losser and coached that team up and through last season. But now they got an even bigger player coming into play. Scott Merchant taking over as head coach, over 150 wins, over 20 years coaching, a 2018 champion with Chippewa Valley in an undefeated season. He's a really good coach there. They're putting this program in the right direction. So how do you go into that game, knowing kind of what Coach Merchant brings to the table, and game plan, knowing that he's going to put forth a really good game plan against your team as well?
Yeah, he's a really good coach. You're right. And I remember, I'll probably always remember, because it was my first game as a head coach playing his Chippewa Valley team that went, you know, right down to the wire at Wayne State. And I don't know, 30 seconds left, we scored to kind of take the lead in that one. But yeah, you can see some of the similarities between the offensive and defensive, I guess, styles that they had at Chippewa Valley, but they also have some new wrinkles that are a little bit different. So it's kind of to find out, I guess, what this version of the team is, because he's definitely putting his stamp on it, and you can see a lot of the improvements, like you mentioned. And they got some guys out there that can really make plays on both sides of the ball. So it's really about, I guess, us figuring out how to slow them down.
And you've learned that lesson earlier on in the season. Your players have, going up against teams that in the record books may not look like they're as strong, may not think of them as having the kind of star power and the punch that they can pack that you would see in other teams that have better records and have been winning games quite handily. But they got some veteran players, particularly in those key skill positions, quarterback, running back, defensive line, tight end, that make a big impact on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I think they're versatile. They got a lot of different looks where they can really spread you out and then kind of play as, I guess, a tighter box team. They're a little aggressive on defense. They'll blitz and try to come after you some, both through the middle or off the edge. So they do some stuff that'll really keep you on your toes. And yeah, we'll see. I'm interested to see like how they try to attack us.
Yeah, Colosimo, their quarterback, he's the senior. Juncic, their running back, Dakota Juncic, he is a senior also. And then their tight end, Rosenzweig, has been having some pretty big weeks in recent weeks as well. This is also an opportunity from the Lakers' standpoint, a bit of a bounce-back game. Couple of tough losses in a row at Oxford and then last week at home against Clarkston. You can't lose focus on the fact that prior to those two games, handily winning 5 straight in a row and had a good handle on both those teams as well. So as you refocus to this week, how do you maintain the confidence of your team from the first 5 weeks after a couple of really tough losses as you focus on Bloomfield Hills?
Well, I mean, I guess we were hoping that Clarkston would be our bounce-back week after the tough loss against Oxford, so that didn't go our way, obviously. So it's on us to, I guess, have a better week and be in a better position on Friday to, get the bounce-back game, so to say. Because, if you don't do things the right way and have a good week of practice and show up ready to play, you're going to put yourself in a bad spot. It happened to us last week, and we just got to make sure it doesn't happen this week.
And you're running out of real estate too. End of the regular season, these losses start to add up. Not only the emotional toll, but then you get into playoff time where it's the end of your year. So as much as week 1 and week number 2 would be the first home game, the first away game would be those tone-setting games, how much of a tone setter do you believe this game this week is, given the circumstances of the last two, to get set in the right mindset and the right kind of style of play to get ready for playoff time just 2 weeks from now?
Yeah, I mean, I guess if we want to have a home playoff game, we got to finish strong with 2 straight wins, and you can't get 2 straight wins unless you win, this week. So next week doesn't matter until we take care of this week. So that's definitely a goal of ours, and also it's been a couple of years since we've played Bloomfield Hills, and Scott and I talked about it at the media day. We want to get back to a point where that's a yearly rivalry game. We think it'd be great for both communities. So I know it's going to be emotional for them, and they'll be geared up to play us too.
Yeah, it'll be a big game on Friday night. CivicCenterTV.com/LakersSports. We'll have all the information where you can watch that game on Friday. And, of course, we'll be able to follow the team all throughout the season on our Lakers Sports page. Watch the previous games and this week in Laker football as well. Coach, as you do approach the end of the season, you start to think about playoff time, not only to set the tone, but the jockey for position. How much would a home playoff game mean to get on the right track and start the playoffs strong in 2025, especially knowing what you know about your team's potential this season?
Yeah, I guess especially with not really having any idea of who you're going to play at all for a few weeks, the home field advantage would certainly be huge because there's not a lot of certainties, in the Michigan high school football playoffs. But, if we can try to get a game here, we just feel better than it would be anywhere else. There's just a lot of variables to that, the district that you're placed in, the region you're placed in, and how those teams end up shaking out. So, part of that we can control, which are our 2 games, and a lot of it we can't. So we just got to work on the stuff that we can control, which is, starting Friday night.
Yeah, and some undefeated teams still left in Division I that are nearby. Novi Detroit Catholic Central, who ended the Lakers season a year ago. Cass Tech in the Detroit area, another team close enough that you could see them in that sort of a playoff bracket. And so as you're staring down possibly a matchup, maybe first round, maybe district finals, maybe into the regional rounds, you want to make sure your team's in a position to be playing at their best and peaking at the right time. It's a careful balance. How do you strategize to get your team peaking at the right time of the season to make as deep of a run as possible?
Yeah, you're right. Those 2 teams, like the last 3 years, we've played them in the first round and the second round individually. I guess to be peaking at the right time, it starts with this game against Bloomfield Hills because, if it doesn't go our way, then obviously it looks like, you've dropped 3 in a row and you're kind of going the wrong direction. So we want to be playing our best football at the end of the year. I think we have at times in a game, but we need to play a full, complete game, which has not happened, obviously, the last couple weeks. So I think it starts with that. We get a good 4 quarters on Friday and, hopefully come out on top. that probably gets us in a better mindset for playing Roseville. Then we just have to do the same thing again. So that's it, day by day, piece by piece.
It's been a rough couple of weeks for the West Bloomfield Lakers, but they have a fire in them, and they are planning to make a statement in these last 2 regular season games. Once again, the Lakers are going to be taking on Bloomfield Hills tomorrow night, and you can stay up to date with all of the information and all of the updates on civiccentertv.com/Lakersports. Recently, in Greater West Bloomfield, a new holistic wellness center opened its doors to the community. Be Balanced in West Bloomfield offers a unique and dedicated approach to fitness and improving your lifestyle. I was at the grand opening event to hear about the business making its home in West Bloomfield and the strong family bonds that have helped it to become what it is.
It has been so exciting. I could not be happier for Rosalind and Stephanie. They are like family, and I'm happy to be a part of this. They are so deserving. They worked hard to get to this point, and the best is yet to come for them.
What do you think are some of the best things with Be Balanced that are here to offer to the people of Greater West Bloomfield?
I think people should really know that there's help for you when it comes to things that you're experiencing in your body. It's not always just exercise or eating right. It's a combination of a lot of things. And so they're here to help find out what problems you may have, what you're trying to find solutions to, and they can do that with the products that they offer that you can't get at the local pharmacies, and their program is amazing. I encourage people to find out more about it.
Oh my God, it's amazing. So I know them, I know the sisters, they are incredible people, and working together will be amazing because I'm going to bring my client to them, and then client needs me too. So it's a perfect partnership.
Oh, we are energized. We are energized because Be Balanced Centers, this is the first one in Michigan, and we chose West Bloomfield, one of the best cities in the state. Just to have a business in the city where we live is just magnifying. It's all of our neighbors, it's all of our friends, it's the people that we see every day that are here to support us.
How great is it to have seen that passion grow into something like this and to be truly benefiting the people of Greater West Bloomfield?
Well, it was a passion of mine because I actually did the program and I saw the miraculous results. I knew that it was a franchise out of Pennsylvania and that there weren't any here. So we just wanted to be the first to be here with it and to let people experience it.
It feels amazing. I have lost personally 39 pounds on the program, and I'm so excited to be able to share it with other women and men.
What is it like to have such a strong family foundation supporting a business like this?
So working with family is awesome. We know each other, we understand each other, we know how to support each other. So I'm thankful to have my husband, Rosalind's husband, Steve, my husband, Kendall, together to do this with us.
What attributes do you think have really contributed the most to this building success?
They've always wanted to do something on their own. They always wanted to take the front role of it, and they did it. They've had it in them. Years ago, we started another business, and they're still part of that business. But they had the drive and the motivation to do something on their own, and they finally did it, and I'm just so happy for them.
We want to enrich our community, so I'm hoping today they'll take away good food, good information, fellowship, and just enjoy with us, celebrate with us what's going on. But more so, I want to make sure that we pass information to people and let them know we are offering holistic medicine in a way to change your life forever.
Drive and motivation go a long way. Big congratulations to Rosalind and Stephanie for all of their success. Can't wait to see what's to come with Be Balanced in West Bloomfield. The beloved West Acres Craft Show returns this fall, bringing together a community of talented artisans, makers, and local vendors, all under one roof. The event takes place on Saturday, November 1st from 10 to 4 and highlights Michigan-based artists and small businesses, offering a chance to shop locally and find unique, one-of-a-kind gifts ahead of the holiday season. Carrie Long, the president of the West Acres Women's Club, joins us now on the Splash Live to tell us more. Carrie, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having us. I'm so proud to be here and talk about this craft show. This is our 50th year. So it's kind of a really special anniversary. It's been 50 years of volunteerism to put on this amazing craft show that the whole community enjoys and looks forward to.
50 years. That you're absolutely right. That is an incredible milestone. And there's so much to look forward to with this year's event. What kinds of vendors or crafts can visitors expect to find this year?
So we always try to be diverse so that everybody that comes can find something that they love or can't live without. So we have textiles, clothing, a lot of soaps, lotions, jewelry. We have blown glass artisans, pottery, food, woodworking. There's a vendor that has a lot of knitting, beautiful baskets, kind of creative stuffies, things like that. So we really have a little bit of everything.
It certainly sounds like it's something for everybody, and all just in time for the holiday season, which is even better. Now, I'd imagine, especially with such a big event like this, a lot of people want to get involved. A lot of people want to be at this show. How do you go about selecting or inviting artisans to participate in the show?
Well, since we have been around 50 years now, artisans want to get involved and want to be a part of the craft show because they know what a great community it is and have had great success. So a lot of artisans have reached out, sent emails, filled out applications, things like that in the spring. And then the Women's Board takes a look at it and we decide which artisans we would like to invite to be a part of the show.
Perfect. Pretty easy system and great opportunities for all of these artisans to become involved. Now, Carrie, I am curious, how would you say this event brings together both residents and visitors from outside of the community?
Well, the entire show is put on by volunteers. It's all volunteers in our neighborhood, and it's a great way to put this on and invite residents from outside of our community to come be a part of it. It's just a great event to put on and invite everyone.
Certainly sounds like it, and sounds like volunteers play such a very integral role in helping this show to become what it is every single year, wouldn't you say?
It's our secret sauce. That's exactly right.
That's right. You can never forget the secret sauce. For those just joining us right now on the Splash Live, I'm talking with Carrie Long, the president of the West Acres Women's Club, talking about this year's West Acres Craft Show that's taking place on November 1st from 10 to 4. Now, Carrie, in what ways would you say that the craft show contributes to promoting local art and handmade craftsmanship?
Well, I think it's a great way to invite them to showcase what these artisans and makers, and then we work hard to do segments like this, and thank you again for having us, to promote all over Facebook, social media. We really do try to promote this as much as possible to have a great turnout to support the artisans.
Of course, you want to make sure that this event truly does have something for everybody. How would you say the team helps to ensure a safe, accessible, and welcoming experience for all of the attendees? Because I'd imagine an event like this, it's going to get pretty busy.
So yes, again, we have volunteers that the days in setting up. We have I will be there, and we have a handful of people volunteering for help setting up, coordinating how people are getting in and out. We also have parking attendants. So somebody will be helping in the parking lot to make sure everybody can park, get in safely, in and out. We have an entire crew all over helping and watching and ensuring everybody's safety.
Perfect. Great systems in place to make sure that everybody has a wonderful time. Now, Carrie, I am curious, how long have you been involved with this craft show, and what would you say is maybe one of your favorite aspects or traditions that's associated with it?
So I feel very blessed that this is the first year that I've been able to be a part of the team and putting it on. And that's been an amazing process, because for years since I was a kid, I've been attending this craft show. So it's so wonderful to be a part of putting this on for the community when for so many years, I was always one of the ones that was just looking forward to be able to go.
I love that. You were such a fan of this craft show for many, many years, and now you play such a big role in helping to bring this craft show to so many people. I love to hear it, Carrie. What advice would you maybe give to first-time visitors hoping to make the most of their experience at this year's event?
I mean, always get there early.
That
It's
is
like
true.
with anything, always get there early.
That's absolutely right. Get there early. Make sure you get a good lay of the land and you know exactly what you want to get. Carrie, last question before we wrap things up. Where can people go to gain a little more information about this year's craft show and maybe of some of the people that are going to be at the craft show?
I would check out on Facebook. We've got a great spot to check it out on Facebook. West Acres Craft Show, I would start there. And then on top of it, we'll have lots of signs and other ways to see. But I would always check social media. It's become a great way to really reach many people.
That's the place to go to learn more about the West Acres Craft Show that is going to be taking place on November 1st. Carrie, thank you so much.
And you can check out our website, which is up right now as well. So the website's always a great place to check as well.
You are absolutely right. For more information about this craft show, Carrie, thank you so much for joining us today here on the Splash Live.
Thank you for having us.
Of course. Once again, the West Acres Craft Show taking place on November 1st from 10 to 4 p.m., highlighting several Michigan-based artists and small businesses from all across the community. We're going to take a quick break, jump into some more stories and topics right after this. Live, local, social. It's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV.
We'll be right back with the Splash Live.
I'm Gina Gregory, president of the Greater West Bloomfield Historical Society. I'm excited that Civic Center TV has reached 1 million views on YouTube. Congratulations. That's just terrific. We appreciate everything Civic Center does for the Greater West Bloomfield Historical Society and the community. For us, they promote and highlight our events. It's awesome to have them available 24/7 on YouTube. I'm Gina Gregory and proud to be one in a million.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Find local municipal meetings at our program schedule on civiccentertv.com. Find when your meetings air live or when they're replaying on our Civic Center TV live stream. Find it all at civiccentertv.com and click schedule at the top of the screen. And now, back to the Splash Live.
Live, local, social. It's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV. Welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Jake Schaff. If you've been driving alongside Walnut Lake Road, you have seen the continued construction of the brand new Chico Elementary School, which just hit a major milestone. The structural foundation of the building is in place, and they are well on their way to making sure that the building is set to go and ready to open for the fall 2026 school year. Just recently, a bunch of West Bloomfield School District officials got to check out the inside of this building, and I was there to hear what they had to say on what this building is going to provide for the people of Greater West Bloomfield.
It's going to be so incredible. The students and staff just continue to be so supportive, the parents, and they are super excited to start in the new school year. The construction workers, Pat, the construction manager, everybody involved, Jamie Stottlemyre, central office. Every time we come, we can see all of the progress. They've been wonderful at giving tours and really bringing the staff along so they see the progress and can envision it and start planning as we speak.
You know, we're really excited about the progress at Chico Elementary. The construction is really going on as planned. We're excited that we're still on track to meet the opening date of June of 2026. And to see the space come to life has really been amazing. To now see it kind of in a 3D atmosphere, whereas before we were seeing it on drawings, is really exciting. Now we can visualize the space with kids in it and staff, and being able to come out here today and experience this with staff and for them to be able to see and stand in their classrooms where they're going to be in a year from now was just amazing.
I'm really excited about the learning spaces and the opportunities that students will have. First and foremost, the theme of Michigan, it really is a children's hands-on museum meets school, and it will make learning engaging and just really next level. So the kids will I can't wait to see the looks on their faces because they have never seen school like this.
It's incredible. If anybody looking for a home in West Bloomfield sees this school and are not attracted to coming to our school district, it would be shocking for me to understand. Having started back here in 1985 and watched 3 different additions onto the building as I was at Green Elementary and seeing what we're going to have now, it's just the technology, the infrastructure, the building, it's amazing. It really is amazing.
How great do you think this brand new Chico Elementary School is going to be for the school district and their mission going forward?
I think it's going to show that we're committed to dreaming big for our students and dreaming bigger for our community. And I'm really excited about the learning that's going to take place in this building and how the space is going to actually facilitate deeper level learning within it. Learning spaces matter, and I think this is going to be an unbelievable space where we connect the academics with the learning space, and we're really going to see great results from this.
The Chico Elementary School construction is right outside of the Civic Center building, so we have seen the gradual progress of this brand new building ever since the beginning, and I cannot wait to see just where things continue to go and for the grand opening, hopefully in the fall of next year. In just a few short weeks, a new art exhibit will be on display at the Janice Cherrick Gallery in West Bloomfield. Beyond the Wall runs from October 26th through December 3rd, with an opening reception that's taking place on October 26th from 1 to 4 p.m. The exhibit features a combination of wall-mounted pieces and freestanding sculptures, with artists in the show exploring the tension between two-dimensional surface and three-dimensional structure. Natalie Blazevich, the director of the Janice Cherrick Gallery, joins us now on the Splash Live to tell us more. Natalie, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
Of course, this is such a very interesting and very innovative art exhibit that's going to be making its way to the Janice Cherrick Gallery very, very soon. What would you say is the central theme or curatorial idea behind Beyond the Wall?
We were really looking at artists who are starting to work in 3 dimensions, but having that on the wall and talking about the tension between where's the line between sculpture and painting, or, 2-dimensional versus 3-dimensional. And the artists, we have 8 artists in this exhibition. They are wonderful examples of people who are exploring that boundary.
Awesome. How did you select the 8 artists that were included in this show?
Well, some of the artists we've worked with in the past, there were a few that I had never worked with. I've seen their work at other exhibitions and other galleries, and I was really excited about what they were doing. So I kind of just wanted to select artists that I thought really fit the concept for the show well and bring them together. A lot of these artists have never shown together with each other, so it'll be interesting to see them in the same space.
Certainly will be. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of great conversations and great dialogues to be had in observing all of these wonderful, wonderful pieces. What dialogues do you hope viewers will experience between the wall-mounted works and the freestanding sculptures?
Yeah, I think that the audience will walk away kind of not maybe having a better understanding of what sculpture really can be. A lot of times when you're in museums and things, you kind of think in terms of like, okay, there's painting and then there's sculpture. But sculpture has really evolved over the years. I mean, if you think of like, as far as sculpture goes back, in ancient times, there were carvings on the walls in Egypt, and, you know, different artists have always kind of tried to make sculpture into a wall-mounted thing just for application purposes. It can be in people's homes more easily. A lot of times people don't have space for a large sculpture. So here's an opportunity for people coming to view to see, well, I can actually own sculpture in my home and it doesn't take up a lot of space. I can hang them on my wall.
That's absolutely right. Now, architecture and lighting also plays, I would think, a very big role in how this gallery is going to be viewed. And having been to the Janice Chair Gallery before, I know that there's skylights, there's double levels. How would you say the architecture of the gallery informs how the sculptures are installed or perceived?
Yeah, the upper gallery, we will feature mostly the freestanding sculptures. We do have a skylight area upstairs. The lower gallery is going to be larger scale pieces. So upstairs is more small pieces, a little bit more affordable for a lot of people. Downstairs are the larger scale, more dramatic, bigger sculptures by these same artists, so you can see the range of their work.
Awesome. Now, when these guests arrive to the gallery to witness all of these fantastic pieces of art, is there a certain way you want them to go through the exhibit? Like maybe start up and then make your way down, or vice versa?
I mean, everyone can kind of come at their leisure and explore the space. I would say that it will probably take approximately 30 minutes for a viewer to fully see everything in the show. You can come anytime during our open hours. We are also featuring during this exhibition the annual Jewish book fair that happens here at the J every year. It's going to go through the whole month of November. There's many events that you can see. You can find links to those on our website. That a lot of them will be happening in the gallery within the exhibition. So you can come see a lecture and then also see the show at the same time.
Even more of a reason to stop by. For those just joining us right now on the Splash Live, I'm talking with Natalie Balazovich, the director of the Janice Chair Gallery, who's talking about the Beyond the Wall art exhibit that's going to be on display from October 26th through December 3rd. Now, I also want to point out that there is going to be an artist talk that is planned with the exhibit on November 23rd. Could you tell us a little more about that and what that will entail?
Yeah, we have several of the artists coming for the artist talk. What we usually do is we have sort of like a panel discussion with the artists, giving a chance to talk about different elements in their work and how they belong within the show and what their role is. And then we also open it up to the audience to give them an opportunity to ask any questions they want to any of the artists. And then as a kind of like a panel discussion, they'll respond to the audience questions. So it's a great evening. We usually have light refreshments here, some drinks for people, and it's a really fun time.
Sounds like it, and a great way to get to know the artists and to thank them in person for these incredible pieces of work. From your perspective, Natalie, what do you hope visitors walk away thinking or feeling after experiencing Beyond the Wall?
I hope that viewers come and really get a different take on sculpture and realize its different variety. There are painters in this show that have been painters for most of their career. Maybe they are muralists. And then they have turned their work into more a three-dimensional application. So you have artists who are thinking of more on the painter side and then going into the three-dimension. And then on the other hand, you have some artists who they started out in freestanding sculpture. Maybe they were working with metal or wood and creating, abstract works. And then they kind of moved into the realm of applying their skills to the wall work as well. So we have the two different spans of dimension kind of coming together. And I hope people really get like a deep sense of like what is possible with three-dimensional work.
Yeah, I hope everybody takes that away as well. There's certainly going to be much to enjoy with this exhibit. Natalie, last question before we wrap things up. Looking ahead, how might this exhibit influence future exhibitions at the Janice Jarrett Gallery or inform the gallery's mission?
Well, the biggest part of our mission that we take pride in is assisting and developing emerging artists. So my hope with every exhibition is that young artists will come and see our shows, see that there are other young artists in this space with very accomplished artists right next to them, and there's a place for everyone in our gallery. And I really want young artists to feel that a gallery somewhere in Detroit is approachable for them. And this is a safe space for people to really become part of a gallery world and get their work seen.
It certainly is a safe space, and there is so much to enjoy while you are there. Natalie, thank you so much for joining us today here on The Splash Live.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You as well. Once again, the Beyond the Wall exhibit is going to be running from October 26th through December 3rd with an artist talk taking place on November 23rd. So plenty of things to enjoy at the Janice Jarrett Gallery coming up. On Monday, October 20th, Sri Balaji Temple will be holding its annual Diwali celebration. The celebration is free and open to the public, inviting families, friends, and community members of all backgrounds to share in the joy of Diwali. This annual celebration embodies devotion, unity, and cultural pride, bringing the local Indian and broader West Bloomfield communities together in reverence and joy. Joining us now to tell us more about the event is Sundar Parthasarathi, the organizer for the Diwali celebration at Sri Balaji Temple. Sundar, thank you so much for joining us today.
Namaste. Thanks for having me.
Of course, glad to have you with the program today. What makes this year's Diwali celebration at Sri Balaji Temple so special for the community?
So every year, Sri Balaji Temple makes sure that Diwali has been celebrated big so that the community can come together. The major event of Diwali is like win of good over evil, win of rightness over wrong. So we're making sure that people get together and celebrate this so that people can have in the mind and heart that always do the good thing and always be in the righteous path. So that's the base for having the Diwali celebration.
Very important things for everybody to remember and for everybody to do. How would you say the temple prepares for an event of this scale, balancing devotion, community, and safety?
Major thing is that we make sure that we work with every team within ourselves to make sure that whether we organize, we have a different set of volunteers to make sure we clean up the space so that everybody can park their cars in the right places and then have enough space for the fireworks, which is a major part of the Diwali celebration. We also work and make sure that fire department has given the direction that we have to use only the fireworks that can only use within the floor, that it cannot go to the sky. So those kind of things will be done. So to make it more and more clear, we are saying that we will be giving the fireworks to the devotees so that they can celebrate rather than they bringing it up. And that's been very clearly mentioned in our advertisement and pamphlets as well, so that we will give them the free fireworks, and that makes the thing easier for everyone to manage and enjoy the festive.
That's right. Working closely with everybody from the West Bloomfield community to make sure this event goes well, which it absolutely will. And this event is open for everybody in the community. So how does the temple ensure inclusivity and welcome people from all backgrounds to join in the festivities?
Actually, this temple is more inclusive, so we don't. There's no differentiation or anything here. So we make sure everybody can come in and have their prayers done, and also when they come out, everybody all devotees will be given the fireworks for them to have fun. If they don't want to do that, they can stay they outside and still watch the people having the fun with the fireworks, and everybody will be given the boxed dinner so that they can go with the dinner also served for them. So that way, everybody is covered. There is no. It's completely an inclusive event, an inclusive festival for the entire West Bloomfield people.
Awesome. Something for everybody at this event. Now, with Diwali, what message do you hope attendees, especially children and younger generations, take away from celebrating at the temple?
As I said in the beginning, right, this festival is meant for celebrating win of good over evil, win of righteousness over the wrong. So what we are trying to seed everybody's mind, especially for the kids, is try to be a good citizen, try to be a good person, and try to be a righteous person, so that takes you the win for the entire life.
For those just joining us right now on the Splash Live, I'm talking with Sundar Parthasarathi, the organizer for the Diwali celebration at Sri Balaji Temple, which is taking place on Monday, October 20th. Now, Sundar, I am curious, what does Diwali personally mean to you, and how do you reflect on its message of light over darkness in your own life?
So, multiple things. Like, as I said to you, we want to make sure as a community, as a world, that we want to be in the right spirit. And right way spirit means where we make the things choices as right choices for making the community to glow. So the Festival of Lights helps us to pass that message along. So we make sure, for personally, I would say I would take a pledge myself that I'm going to be in the rituous path and the right path all my life. So every year I replayed myself, oh, I'm going to be in the right path. So which means the wind comes up on the way. So this is the way I started my journey as a kid. So with the kid, Diwali is a big thing for us. And because the fireworks, the new dresses, and all the festive associated with that makes it big. So as a person, as a father of two kids, I start this message to my kids and also to myself to remind myself and make it big for the festive.
I'm glad to hear that the holiday means so much to you and so much to your family as well. And West Bloomfield has a very diverse community. How would you say events like this one strengthen cultural awareness and unity within West Bloomfield?
See, that makes the thing. The diversity makes one thing to understand and learn how we can live with peaceful and happy within the community together. So it's going to be, if you can see, this is the more like a start of the festive season. Like it starts with Diwali now. In a couple of weeks, we have Halloween. And then a lot of things comes up with kids going to enjoy. Like say Thanksgiving is there for the families, and the Christmas again for the kids to enjoy. So these all things I can say the festive season starts pretty much with the Diwali this year. So it's going to be more and more for diversity and enjoy with togetherness as a community there, so that it makes more vibrant community for us.
You're absolutely right. Diwali, with all the dates lining up after that, it is the true start of the holiday season with all the other big holidays coming up right afterwards. Sounds like it's going to be a great event at the temple. Last question before we wrap things up, Sundar. Looking ahead, how does the temple plan on continuing to expand or evolve its Diwali celebrations in the future years? So
I can say myself in the personal means that this is my 10th year with the temple as an event there. So from the year one, from 10 years now, I can see how we have evolved. Each and every year, we prepare at least a month and a half before, like how we want to arrange our parking, how much we are expecting each year. Every year, the people keep growing. So we have extended parking around the backside of the temple as well. So those kind of parking is the first place, and then second space is make a secure place where people can enjoy the fireworks. These are all the things has to be done. And as a temple, we take about a month and a half or 2 months prior to start preparing for this event to make sure it's a safe, secure, and fun-filled festive for everybody in the community.
Wow, a lot of work goes into making this event happen every single year, but it's all worth it. Can't wait to see all of the fun in West Bloomfield. Sundar, thank you so much for joining us today here on the Splash Live.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Of course.
Happy Diwali to everyone.
Of course. Once again, Diwali, their celebration is going to be taking place at Sri Balaji Temple on Monday, October 20th. Lots of fun and lots of festivities in Greater West Bloomfield. Very, very soon, a theater classic will be opening its doors and opening its performance at the Berman Center, Fiddler on the Roof. The show will be available for 6 performances on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday this weekend, and Friday, Saturday, Sunday next weekend, closing on Sunday, October 26th. Sarah Grice, one of the performers in this show, who is playing the role of Seidel, joined us on the Splash Live recently to tell us her thoughts on playing such a powerful and meaningful role.
Sarah, thanks for coming on the show today.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, happy to have you on. It's a big show coming to the Berman Center here in West Bloomfield on Drake and on Maple in West Bloomfield. Going to be a big show all throughout this week and next as you put on Fiddler on the Roof. Seidel is your character in this particular play, but Fiddler on the Roof still is such a big draw for people, even in 2025. What about this show do you think still resonates with audiences all these years later, even today?
I think it's so much about family and it's about traditions. And it just kind of draws us back to those things that mean the most to us. It's something that's very important and special to me. Fiddler on the Roof was something that we watched as a family when I was a kid. So it kind of just brings back that nostalgia for everyone. And, you know, it's got a great meaning to it. It's got a lot of heart. It's got comedy. It's got excitement. So I think it's just one of those things that people just always have loved.
And one thing about this show that makes it so relatable to audiences is it has that mixture of heartbreak and humor. It lightens the mood enough to keep you engaged and not just upset an audience while telling a relatively heartbreaking story. And so how do those emotional shifts night to night impact both the actors on the stage but also the audiences and help to build that connection?
Yeah, it's a lot. It's an emotional roller coaster that we go on every single night because the whole purpose of the show is this shift and change. It's so close to reality because these are things that actually happened. So a lot of the themes that occur, especially with some of the things that are even happening today, are really just kind of hit you in the feels. So it's something that we as a cast have really worked through. We really have to trust each other. We've had to make those connections to get those joyous times and make them, you know, as natural as possible, especially when we're going between that and the heartbreak and, you know, just having to be comfortable with individuals while we're being comforted through really difficult situations. There's a lot of family dynamic in it that we've really created amongst the cast that just makes this production really special.
And you mentioned it too, Sarah, your appreciation for this show, having seen it before, experienced it before, and now you get a chance to be part of the storytelling yourself. And as you mentioned, it's kind of a balance between joy and a little bit of sorrow too because of the truth behind this story. So as a performer and as a part of this ensemble cast, how do you all balance that out as you're trying to build that chemistry so it shows in the show on the stage while also preparing to tell this story in your own way also?
Yeah, I personally connect with this show on so many levels. Seidel is the oldest of 3 girls. I am the oldest of 3 girls. And she is the daughter of Tevye, and he is the very strong man. He's very strong in his morals and his traditions, in his faith. And that's something that I grew up with in my own family and my own dad. So as far as the emotions go, they come very naturally for me because I kind of just settle into Seidel is so close to who I am in some ways. But what has really helped in this is a lot of the cast, especially, you know, as a person who has 3 sisters, the 2 young ladies that play my 2 of my sisters, there's 5 of us. We've actually really tried to get together and bond and talk, and we've just shared a lot about ourselves and our lives. So just having that comfortability amongst the cast has really helped draw those emotions out. And it's not even, it just comes naturally now. The smiles and the fun and even the tears are they're just a natural occurrence amongst all of us.
Just 6 chances to see Fiddler on the Roof at the Berman Center for the Performing Arts in West Bloomfield Township. It all begins on October 17th. Shows running the 17th through the 19th and the 24th through the 26th. You can get your tickets online, nicelytheatergroup.com. Nicely Theater with an R-E, group.org. For your tickets. One more time, nicelytheatergroup.org is the place to go to get your tickets for the 6 and only 6 shows. Civic Rice is with us from the cast of Fiddler on the Roof at the Berman Center for the Performing Arts. And you mentioned some of your personal connections to this character, the dynamics of your life that you've been able to incorporate into your preparation to play Seidel on the stage during these 6 performances. But what about her personality were you most excited to explore as you prepared for this show and now as you're performing it here in West Bloomfield?
Yeah, as far as Seidel goes, she differs. She's very similar to me in some ways, but she's also very different. And what I love about Seidel is she's a little bit headstrong, but she's also still got that older sister dynamic. She's still got that connection with her parents where she doesn't want to disappoint them, but she's also strong enough to stand up for what she wants. And that's something that I've really had fun with as the oldest daughter in my own world. You know, it's something that, you know, I've been plagued with I don't want to disappoint mom and dad. So Seidel she's kind of an inspiration because she kind of starts the ball rolling for this change and this, you know, new way of like the one line is that the world is changing. And so she's kind of that person that kind of starts that change and that ball rolling to get her parents to kind of have a different idea about certain things. So that's been really fun to work with. It's also been really kind of fun to immerse myself in the culture, not someone of Jewish faith or Jewish background, but just being surrounded with people in my life who are of the Jewish faith. It's been really interesting and fun getting to know that. So I've taken a lot of information from fellow castmates, from my directors, to kind of bring that to her personality as well, because the times were very, very different in terms of how women were perceived and what the women's role was back then. So that's been something really different that I've been able to take on as well.
And part of the purpose of this art form, much like film, theater is such an intimate way of entertaining people through performing art. There's always a multitude of messages that an audience can take away from any one of these shows, especially a classic like Fiddler on the Roof. Its original message still resonating today, but given what has been going on in the world, both on foreign and domestic soils, and sort of the state of the world that we're in, what are some of your hopes for what the audience can take away from this performance during these 6 shows, and then maybe incorporate into their world here in 2025?
Yeah, absolutely. It is a really difficult time with some of the things that are happening. And I hope that audiences come in, and maybe some individuals have never witnessed or seen Fiddler on the Roof. I hope that it moves them. I hope they can connect with, how things that were happening then are still happening today, and it kind of resonates with them. But I really, really hope as well that audiences focus in on the joy as well, and just remembering that even through hard times, these individuals clung to each other. They clung to their families. They held tight to their faith, and kept the things that were really important in their heart centralized, even through their struggles. That's the one thing that they still maintained throughout the show, is they really, really held tight to who they were and where they came from, and really that tradition of how they were raised and what they believed in.
And on a personal level for you, what are some of your takeaways from having now been able to perform in this show after being a fan of it for so long?
It's been absolutely incredible. I've had conversations with our wonderful director, Mitch Master, about this because Fiddler is not something that gets done locally often because it's often on Broadway or it's often out on tour. So it's such a pleasure to finally get to have the opportunity to not just audition, but actually get cast in this show. And when I auditioned, I was like, I will do anything just to be in the show because of what it means to me. So it's just been one of the best experiences. I'm performing with some of my dearest friends. I've made amazing connections with new friends and castmates. And that's the thing that I love so much about theater. We really are a community. We really are a family, which, obviously plays out on the stage when you see how we all interact with each other. And that's something that I'm going to take away. Not only the experience of finally being able to perform in my ultimate favorite musical, but also getting to perform with the individuals who are in my cast and work with our fabulous crew in orchestra as well.
Sarah Grice is with us, one of the cast members of Fiddler on the Roof, performing here in West Bloomfield at the Berman Center for the Performing Arts. 6 shows on the way. You can purchase your tickets for those limited performances right now online. Nicelytheatergroup.org is the website to get your tickets. They begin on October 17th. They conclude on October 26th. Sarah, you mentioned this is a show that typically is on Broadway or is in big theaters off Broadway, maybe even locally, like the Fisher Theater in downtown Detroit. It's a completely different paradigm shift when you are playing in a local theater like the Berman Center for the Performing Arts. It's an interesting environment. It's great for a stage play. Why is the Berman Center a good place for people? If they want to see Fiddler on the Roof, why should they go and see it at the Berman?
Oh, yes, please come to the Berman. If you haven't been to the Berman, it is an absolutely gorgeous facility. This is my 3rd show working with Nicely and performing at the Berman. It is one of my favorite places to perform. It's state of the art. So you just feel like you are in a professional theater when you walk in. The professional staff is amazing. One of the things that I love about being at the Berman is while it is a larger house, there is not a bad seat in the house. Everywhere you sit, you're going to get an amazing view. You're going to be able to see the actors. You're going to be able to witness, facial expressions and emotions and everything. And it's actually a very, very comfortable theater, which I know, especially when I go to shows with my dad, that's one of the biggest things he wants to know is, are the seats comfortable? And yes, they are. We just love being at the Berman, and just from when you walk in the doors with the high ceilings and everything, you really feel like you're stepping into a place that's really special.
And it'll be a special few nights here in West Bloomfield for Fiddler on the Roof. Coming up, shows October 17th through 19th and the 24th through the 26th. Sarah, thank you so much for your time today.
Yes, thank you so much again for having me. I hope we see you all out at the show.
As Tyler said, shows for Fiddler on the Roof are taking place from October 17th through the 19th and from the 24th through the 26th. So plenty of opportunities to see Sarah and the rest of the cast take on Fiddler on the Roof. Can't wait to see it. Soul Studio in West Bloomfield unveiled their latest art exhibit a few weeks ago, Worlds Beyond, an exploration of imagination. That is still available right now up until November 13th, which provides another incredible opportunity to showcase the artistry of these talented artists in West Bloomfield. I got to check out the art exhibit not too long ago to hear from some of the people stopping by and some of the people with Soul Studio on what this exhibit truly means to them.
I'm honestly really impressed. Like, some of the stuff in here is really good. Like, walking around this art gallery, sometimes I forget I'm in just a local art gallery. I'm like, oh wow, this is like a professional studio almost. It's amazing, honestly. I really appreciate that they give the opportunity to everybody here and they get this awesome creative outlet and give back to the community at the end of the day,
It's incredible. I have been to every one. I have been since day one when it was just sort of a thought. So every art show is incredible. I think they get better every time.
And I understand that your daughter has some exhibits here tonight. What is it like to see her showcase her artwork to everybody?
What can I say? It's amazing. It's my motto is never say never, because she was totally nonverbal and totally in her own world for years. So a lot of therapy and a lot of friendship circle and soul studio. And that is why she is who she is today.
What have been some of the coolest things you've seen here tonight from the art?
Man, I would say just like the collaborative piece, which is like the main focus over there. It's awesome to see everyone work together kind of in their own way and then see it get pieced together. I really enjoy it.
How great is it to see all of their hard work pay off and to be featured in such a prominent way?
No, it's amazing, it's really amazing because I kind of feel part of it, and then seeing everyone get excited about their artwork hanging up, and then especially when it sells, it makes it all worth it.
And would you say with this theme, Worlds Beyond, that it's really showcasing the imagination of these artists?
Well, people hold multitudes, and these artists have such rich inner worlds that once they display them and share them with us, it's a door to extraordinary place. It's out of this world.
What are some of the biggest things people can take away from being a part of something like this?
That it's not just the artwork, it's the friendships, it's knowing that you belong somewhere, nobody's questioning you, everybody loves you. It's an amazing organization. What can I say? I don't know what I would do without it.
I think a big thing is don't judge a book by its cover, I think a lot of times, the artists that we work with, they haven't had an opportunity to present what they can do, but it's amazing to see what people are capable when given the opportunity.
So much talent throughout Greater West Bloomfield. But that's going to do it for us today here on The Splash Live. Big thank you to all of our guests and for everybody on the Splash Live team for helping to make this show possible every single day. I've been your host, Jake Schaff. Live, local, social. It's The Splash Live on Civic Center TV.